Guru Kripa Kevalam. Namaste and welcome everyone to Satsang today. Sadguru Sri Muji Baba ki Jai. Okay, let's take the question. Advaita.
Hello, Ananta-ji.
Yeah.
Not sure about the clarity of the question, but just it feels like I'm getting maybe sometimes still identified with certain concepts. And another thing is seen that there's nothing that can be done to not identify, like to not identify it faster or something. Yeah. So sometimes maybe I'm in this loop a little bit, where I would identify and then, which is fine, but then another time it would be, okay, how to make it faster? Maybe there is something I'm still holding on, which I'm not seeing,
Yes.
And just really sometimes, again, just actually more and more it feels just I don't know the goal of sometimes, just staying empty and open, as you say. Maybe that would suit the best. Otherwise, yeah, it's just a mystery.
The goal of, did you say? Like the point? Is that what you mean? Did you say the goal of? You don't know the goal of?
Yeah. Like sometimes I don't know why I'm coming, because the best I could say is just, it's makes my day better, but and makes less suffering in the future. But I know also there is more to that which cannot be spoken about,
Yes.
So that, I don't know, it doesn't really matter if you go for one or the other. You end up hopefully the same route.
All right, let's look at this. This is an interesting way to start Satsang. What is the goal of being open and empty? And what's the point, basically, he's asking, in a nicer word. What's the point of all of this? If there's no control, you're going to end up whichever way, ultimately anyway, then what's the point? Now, this is very, very key. This is very, very key. And I feel like hopefully the pointers that come from here will snap us out of this sort of perspective of point, goal, reason. And maybe you may even find a point or good enough reason to be open and empty. Let's see. So it has to be tasted. I mean, we can keep talking about it, but it has to be tasted. So just now, open and empty. Open and empty. It's fully. Don't be open and empty. No, it's like, I am now open and empty. It's not like that. Just you're not taking any position, including being open. Just notice that about yourself. You can't do it. It is the gift of the moment to you already. This gift is already yours. There's nothing you have to do. Just notice that you're not taking the position of being open or empty. Notice like that. Now, what are you in this? What are you in this? So, I will propose to you that you are the highest already, and this is apparent to you in this. The highest that you are, the highest cannot go higher, but the highest that you will ever be is already apparent to you here, unless you're making some shape out of yourself. You're not confused about your true nature as pure awareness itself. It is fully apparent that you are witnessing. There is no reason behind it. There is no mechanics you have to use to be that. Just right now, notice this. That you are witnessing all that you are perceiving. But that you itself is not the object of any perception. So this discovery is only possible when you're open and empty. I'm not saying it's only possible when you're open and empty because Ananta is pointing to open and empty. I'm saying that whether you call it the unborn, whether you call it the notionless existence, whether you call it no mind, this discovery of the highest that you can be, the highest that you already are, not you can be, is only apparent when you're open and empty. You cannot take yourself to be a construct of belief. You cannot identify and then discover the highest. It is just not possible. No matter what you try the highest practice. You see, at best, that highest practice can be preparatory in nature to get you to a point where you can be open and empty. You see? And here, you don't need. Whatever help you need is already here for you. You see? Now, this discovery of your ultimate reality, your true nature, which is beyond this universe, is apparent to you fully as you are empty. You see? So that highest, which is not subject to time. And the good news is that that highest is you. You see? So I cannot find a higher point or reason than this. You see? Now the trouble is that what does it mean for the non-existent me? What does it mean for the one that I think I am?
It means a lot as well, it feels.
Ah.
It seems it means a lot. It means also a happier, more peaceful life, really.
Yes, but it's
it feels like that for awareness, it doesn't do anything for which I am.
It's a trick question because for one that doesn't exist, can that one carry a meaning? You see? How can the cat sitting next to you, what do you mean to the cat sitting next to you?
I mean, it's just, it's more that the parent cat would appear, this recognition, what it does here is that a parent cat appears to be better, more pure, just better for this apparent life, you know?
No, I'm not going to buy that construct at all. In that you make leeway for in the term apparent, you're saying the unreal now has a better life. You see?
No, that also, I'm not saying it's only that.
How can sorry, not buying that construct because somewhere, you see, we want to include this non-existent me in some sort of a narrative where it's actually from the perspective of reality, which is the only thing there is. You see, there is no need to do that. You see, why would you suppose you're writing your story? You see, and then I tell you, no, but just make sure you include the non-existent cat and everything that's happening to it in that story. You'll say, Ananta, why you want to include that? No, please, it'll be nice. No, I know it's not real. You see, I know it's not real, but please, can you just, when you say Advaita,
no. I'm not like going after to improve the cat, non-existent cat, but I'm just saying that also gets improved. I'm not saying like, oh, the cat piece about the cat, but it also apparently gets improved. But we're not talking about that, obviously.
Yes. Let me also help here with the what you're possibly conveying is that consciousness does not play the game of suffering empty of the belief in the apparent cat. So then, because the game of suffering is not being played by consciousness, to an observer of your life, you see, to that one it may seem like, oh, yeah, your life is much better now. You see, but because you are open and empty, you are not constructing yourself as a construct of time and space and making those comparisons and saying, oh, my life used to be like this. You see, now it is like that. You see, inwardly you're not making those comparisons. If something comes outwardly, someone comes and asks you, oh, you've changed, you look very peaceful right now. See, what's happened to you? See? And then you remain open and empty, and if some words come in response to this, which may seem like, oh, I came to satsang and I came to the discovery of my true nature, and then now the false doesn't bother me, so some word may come like that. You see, so for communication you may convey like that, but you have stopped identifying with the false one. Although in the actions, it may still seem like you are taking position, you see, in the movement of the words, because this worldly waking state may continue to show up, in which this body will continue to show up, and in that showing up, all the movement that is happening is possible through all bodies, including this one. You see, but you will actually lose the ability to make any of these benchmarks, to take any of these benchmarks seriously. You see, we got too far.
It's just, it's if anything arises, these are arising sometimes, which I get identify. Oh, but what's the point? And trying to put into maybe borders. Oh, it's about happiness or something.
Correct. Exactly. So it's good when it arises like this. What is the point of this? I have been in satsang 10 years. What have I got? What is the meaning of coming here? What is the meaning? What is the point? So it's good because you recognize the place where this evaluative tendency is there, this bed of reasoning is there, this home of reasoning is there, which we call the mind intellect, and you don't bother with that. You see? Bother with your nose more than you do with that. You see? And I'm not even joking. Bother with the sensations that you call your nose more than you do with that evaluative tendency or that ability to reason or give meaning or to do value judgments or to put things in a narrative of my life.
Another concept just came and I noticed it, but it says, oh, but it does work. It does improve your life.
Yes. Okay, so the concept comes, then the value that you give to it, you see, does that improve your life?
Because I believe into it, does it improve my life?
Yes, belief being the truth value or the reality that we impart on that particular notion. Many times
it doesn't make it better. Like if it's good, it's good. If it's good and you don't believe it, it's still,
But the minute you put yourself in the box of I'm doing good, you're just basically making a big punch me mark for the mind, saying for the evaluation which is coming sooner than later, saying you're not doing that good anymore or you're doing badly. You see? So it becomes like a roller coaster effect. The minute you put yourself in any limiting construct, including doing well, you see, it is automatically going to become something that you then have to preserve. And when the mind attacks you with the notion, oh, last week you were doing so well, but see you this week you're getting so angry, you're so full of lust. What is happening to you? You've lost it. You see? So then it can seem like a roller coaster ride. Now, if you're doing well, you see, but you don't make a shape or a judgment out of that, you see, then it comes and it goes. All the attributes that we may say belong to doing well, which is how much happiness is being experienced, how much peace is being experienced, how much joy is being experienced, how much love is being experienced. When you're fully empty of the evaluative tendency about all of this as well, that is when they play as your servants. You see? They are in service to your being. The minute we put ourselves in a construct that we are happy to receive them, oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. You see? Then we sort of put in ourselves in that servitude position, and then we become attached. And everything in life, it comes and goes. Everything in your perception, it comes and goes. You see? So when they go, then your mind has the possibility to then trouble you and say, see, you were doing so well. Now you're not doing so well. If you know nothing about how you're doing, nothing can poke you. You see? So this is where you come to the end of spirituality. You see? So we may say, okay, spirituality played a part in this life and all of that stuff. But you come to the end of spirituality being, you transcend even spirituality. You see? The constructs of spirituality which are presumably designed to make you more peaceful, more joyful, more loving, all of these things.
Could I expose one more, which comes often as well, is that if I'm aware, not if I am awareness, I'm always perfect, then the only thing that needs perfecting is maybe to make it better for this body, you know? This comes also that if I'm perfect and I cannot improve myself, cannot do anything about myself, which is I'm awareness, and but maybe I can do something about, at least in this realm while I'm on this earth, you know? It makes sometimes sense like this. Like it feels like it makes sense really like this. You know?
Yes, and nothing wrong with taking care of the body and things like that. But I'm going to tell you one thing, that any construct that you apply onto yourself, you see, is self-limiting in that way. You see? So just even take the construct, while I'm on this earth, you're not on this earth. This earth is on you.
It's not my experience.
It is your experience. Okay, this is the challenge, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is the main challenge. So this, and we return to the question again about what is the point of being open and empty. Now, you see, speak as innocently from your direct experience as possible without giving as much leeway to the mind as possible. You see, so be open and empty now. This realm of perceptions that we call the world or we call the earth, are you in those? Are you in them? With the innocence of a child, recognize this.
I'm experiencing it. I'm experiencing the world.
Are you in them? Are you in the world? Are you experiencing the world?
Okay, yeah, no, yeah, it's more like maybe the planet. I'm on the planet, but yeah, I'm not in the world. Yeah.
Yes. So where are you? Where are you? Where are you witnessing this realm of perceptions from? Whether you call it Maya, the world, Leela, Earth, whatever you want to call it. Where are you experiencing it from? That one that is aware of this universe, this realm, where is that one? Remain open and empty. You don't have to do any work. Just remain open and empty and allow your heart to form the words. Be patient with the formation of words. The truth is already with you. But the formation of words, if they come at all, can seem to be a process in time.
I like
So take your time. That which is aware of this universe, where can we locate its position?
Yeah, just worldly concepts would be from here, from myself.
Yes, but where is that? What is the latitude and longitude of that?
Yeah, that is not. Yeah, it's only apparent one, but there's no real one.
So where is the one that is aware? You see, it must be somewhere.
It
Must be
is. That's for sure.
Huh? Huh?
It is. That's for sure.
It is, that's for sure. No, do you mean it is somewhere, that's for sure, or it is, that's for
It is. It is. Yeah. It is.
You see? Now, this one, the reality of you, is not in aware. This is too much for the mind. You see? It's not in a location. You are not in a location. You are not in this world. You are not in this body. And this is your direct experience. So don't shy away from it, because the mind will quickly try to tell you, I can't figure that out. So let's just presume that I'm in the world, because the world shows up. You see? But that is the doorway to trouble.
Mm.
So don't take the easy way out. What seems like the easy way out, but actually is the most difficult way. So if the notion seems plausible that I am in this world after all, you see, so might as well then whatever, you see, then explore that. You can't just leave it because it's a matter of life and death. You can't leave this question just unexplored, because the instant you say take yourself to be an objective entity in this world, the whole perspective becomes the Leela one, or the false one.
Another one is coming, but another one is saying it improves my perceptions.
So, okay, leave that for the moment. Do you feel like it is relevant to find out where you are before you decide?
No. No. Seems no.
Is it? This is the thing. So, we are happier maybe to presume that I am here, I am this.
Mm-hmm.
Is it? And then say, okay, what improves the one that is here and is this? Then to say, okay, am I actually here? So suppose you spent your whole life, you see, this whole life on improvement of this one, you see, and then you die. Then what is the point of that?
There's not much point, but it seems better than nothing.
You see, from the perspective of being an objective entity, it may seem like progress and improvement is a viable position to take during the time that this world shows up. You see? Now, I want to introduce you to that deep intelligence, which is beyond any notion of improvement and is already running this play, you see, with the best director that you can find. You see, the fear is that then that makes me completely irrelevant. You see, behind all this rationality, actually there's a fear lurking, saying that if I don't even have to improve what I take myself to be the false one, admittedly, then what is my relevance? What is left for me to do? And in the world, if there's nothing left for you to do, then you're irrelevant. You're nobody. You see? But suppose this movie was running completely in the light of consciousness, which is you. You see? But you didn't have to take any limited perspective at all. I take this example often. Even the other day, I was sharing. I saw on TV that a bird in the first year of its life, the season changed and it started flying towards the north without having any compass, any flock, all alone. You see? So which intelligence is running that bird's life? And in that, has God forsaken us? Has God forsaken us that God cannot run our life like that? This doesn't mean that I'm taking a position like which many so-called renunciates then take a position and say, no, this body is worthless for me, and I don't care about it. It can die today. I'm not taking either position. You see, and if the intuitive intelligence wants to take care of this body, then it takes care of this body in a certain way. Then it doesn't want to take care of this instrument, it doesn't take care of it in a certain way.
It just feels like only thing that can be improved is only this body and this mind.
You see? So empty of this benchmarking, empty of this evaluation of, see, for improvement, you have to determine the current state of something. So what is this right now?
Perceptions.
Perception is just a word. What is happening here right now? What is this?
Can say different ways.
What is really? What is really? I know that if I ask all of you, so what is this? Something must be real that all of you can agree.
Yeah, there is something real, definitely. There is real.
What is that?
It cannot be described because
exactly. But the notion of progress is not possible without that false description, isn't it? So the mind's whole game is to try and give you a diagnosis of the state of something. State of the world, state of you, state of how you are, how something is, what's happening here. You see, on the basis of which the doership aspect can be built. You see, what are you going to do right now? What are you going to do? 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 You see, give me some context. What are you asking about? You see, what to do about what? You see, I'm just going to sit something. You get irritated. Because you need a jump off point from which to do. There's no jump off point. There is no trampoline, you see, from where to jump. And what is the jump off point? The narrative. The narrative means I can determine the current state of my existence based on some concept. You see? So I am 99% free, you see, or I am not being open enough, or I am not devoted enough, or I am very devoted and open, or whatever. Either way, you see, then can become the jump off point as to decide what next step to take. You see? Can you make progress without first having a progress report? A parent has to see the report of the child. Oh, you have a B- in math. No, so I'm going to spend some time with you and take this home. But if I didn't have that progress report, and again, I'm just using external metaphors. Parents are starting to get worried. So I'm just using external metaphors to describe an internal position taking. You can still help your kids with education. So now I'm going to give you an experiment. Yes, notice that container in your being where all these evaluation, judgments, conclusions, proposals, they all come, and don't bother with that.
I like it. It feels good. It feels.
Yeah.
I needed this. I'll try to come up more often. Sometimes I'm not able, and it's always good. never too much.
Very good. Thank you for your openness.
Mm.
Thank you for your
Thank
openness. So this question is of great relevance. What is the point of open and empty? If it's just about feeling peaceful and full of joy, I can go for maybe a movie or something. Go for a comedy movie, you'll also feel like some laughter and joy.
It's not as good. It's not as good. This is the best.
Good idea. But higher than that, is that halo still on or? Yeah. That's hilarious. So we start to show up as it gets darker outside. I think maybe more to the side or something. It's too strange. So it's okay, we'll do it. So really open and empty. What is the gift that it gives to you? What is the gift right now? Everything that any sage has ever said is fully apparent to you. Everything that the sage has not just said but pointed to, beyond the ability to say, is apparent to you. Meet this without any grasping. Right now, that divinity which can peer into the non-phenomenal reality of what you are and allow words to spring from that, although unable to truly convey anything tangibly about that. And yet it seems like the most divine meeting ever possible, higher than anything that you could grasp at in the world. In one moment of being open, Papaji said, don't think for a second, for a millisecond, don't think. Same thing, same thing. What happened? What happened? You meet that which is so beyond this play of this universe and all our life stories and all of this nonsensical narratives that we give so much value to. You step out of all of that. You realize instantly that you're not in time or space. We checked. I said, where are you? Where are you? You cannot find a where. You cannot find a where for this. And yet you are. Edward said beautifully, what I am in reality, that is undoubtable that I am, even prior to I amness. You see? It is undoubtable. But where? I can't find.
What is statement to make is know how to function. How to function.
Yes, I'm coming to that. So this first gather the gift which is being made available. You see? The mind will rush and say, ye sab theek hai, but how to run my real life? No? So if it is apparent that it's false life, then you won't be bothered with that question. So somewhere we must be taking it as if, okay, now I've come to Satsang. So now if you come to Satsang and you realize that the rest of life or even this apparent play of phenomena is all coming and going and therefore unreal, then this question of how to live or how to function would not have so much power. You see? So what makes it relevant is the fact that somewhere you give it belief. But I'm going to tell you anyway. I'm going to answer the question anyway. You see? But first assimilate the gift which is here, because you're being pointed to the gift of all the Vedas, all the Upanishads, all the scriptures, everything, all that is being pointed to, you see, by the sages in this instant. of open mind. Don't run away from that. Don't rush to tactics and plans. Now you can spend, I'm saying carefully, most of your life here. You can spend most of your life here. How do you know you're in your heart? How do you know you're with your presence, with your heart? Then the reality of what you are is apparent to you. You can spend most of your life here. I should say all of your life here, but I'm purposefully saying most of your life. Yes? Now, in this waking state, in this world, for all of us, they will come, because this Maya is that strong, this Leela is that strong, there will come some moments where we will take ourselves to be what our mind is telling us. You see? And in those moments, we will be forced to take ourselves to be this, and not forced to, but in the play it will seem like I am forced to. You see? So what to do in those moments? What to do in those moments? You see, that's the only trouble. So now it feels like in those moments we need some guidance. You see? So some of you of devotional temperament will say, okay, just be with me, Father, all the time. No? So that, what is that? That's an antidote for the fear about what happens when I go outside. So there, in those moments, there will also be some moments where you become mental and you will identify for a few moments. Accept it. It's going to happen in every life. You see? If you may become the greatest sage that has ever walked on this planet, you see? And yet that will happen in this life to you from moment to moment. Accept that first. You see? Then, when you're not in those moments, you see, and you feel like, but I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go. But I must make a decision. All this nonsense, of course, but in those moments it will seem real. You see? I don't know. What am I meant to do? You see? And you're not so fully caught up in the mind where it seems like I have to be right about this. I have to go to my mind. You see? Those moments are write-offs. Just write them off. Nothing is going to happen about them. You see? For those moments where you feel confused, you don't know where to go, those moments you can wait for your intuition to guide you. And again, remember, how are you? When do you know you're being intuitive? When what you are is apparent to you. It's not a trick. Like some of you feel like, oh, Ananta is tricking us, because he's saying that the instant you know what you really are, then all that will go away anyway. No, no, no. Even then, you see, if there is guidance needed, then that guidance will come. It will come. All you have to do is trust. And trust, including trusting the silence to be the guidance that is needed at that point. You have access to the greatest intelligence in this universe, which is running this universe, in your heart. And you have access to the lowest intelligence, which divides and separates everything in the form of your mind. You as consciousness have the choice which one to go to.
I have access to it, or no one has access to it.
You as consciousness, you see, have these instruments, and you can use whichever instrument that you want.
I have access.
Yes, you do. You as consciousness. You as consciousness, not you personally. The non-existent can't have access. So this is the game called life. This is it. When you open and empty, whichever way you got there, you see, through 100,000 chants of a chant that your master has given you, you became for one instant open, you see, through doing Hatha Yoga for 10 lifetimes, through inquiring, through surrendering everything, whatever your path may be, through devotion. You see? Ultimately, your discovery is always going to be this, because there is not two ways to make a non-phenomenal discovery. Can you make a non-phenomenal discovery in two different ways? If they were different, they would have a qualitative difference, isn't it? But non-phenomenal means there's no quality, it's nirguna. You see? So you cannot have difference in your self-discovery either in the way of making it or what you discover. You see? In that so-called process before that, you may be a Ati yogi or a Karma yogi or a Bhakta yogi or a Gyan yogi, it doesn't matter. But your discovery has to be this one. Cannot be two discoveries of that which doesn't have any phenomenon. Isn't it? So that is why it is not for us to judge anybody's path. As long as they come to this, as long as they come to this discovery, which is beyond all, beyond all phenomena, beyond all perceptions, beyond all time, beyond all space. So this is the point behind this simple open and empty. There are hundreds of tips, there are hundreds of mind tricks that will come up. You see, you may start to visualize yourself as some dark empty space. You see, find out who is aware even of that. You may start, it may become convoluted where things are happening in life, but you're just imagining dark empty space. Oh, I'm just that dark. You see, so what would that dark empty space do? Like the Advaita version of what would Jesus do? So you could become convoluted in that way, but you're not that. You're not. Even that is a perception. Darkness is an opposition to light. You see, anything that has an opposite is not your reality. So find out what is aware even of that dark. You may feel like you're just vast space and space. You see, but that is the opposite of constricted and constricted and constricted. So that also, who is aware of that? You may feel like you're sitting inside the body somewhere. You see, you're sitting inside the heart or physically. Not true. What is aware of those sensations that you're calling yourself? So many of these things will come, but they will. The openness will take care of all of this.
Can you call all these thoughts?
Yes. All these will be through belief in the construct called thoughts.
Witness thoughts.
Yes, all thoughts are perceived. You are aware of the perception of these thoughts. So it is so pristine, this discovery that you're making. So don't ever let the mind tell you what's the point. Just because there's no point for the mind doesn't mean there's no point for you. Otherwise, the minute you buy into notions like that, then you will start looking for a point about everything in life. And I have some good/bad news for you, which is that nothing in life has a point. A point is too small an instrument to contain life. So this nonsensical search for meaning is the most glorified thing in human existence, but actually is the worst way to live.
But you don't have any center. You don't have any center. You have center or not?
What do you mean by center?
My experience is from this problem, eyes, from through eyes. So
And where are you experiencing that from this center?
okay.
Where?
In this whole body sensation, where it's working.
Huh?
Whole body sensation.
Yes. Now close your eyes. Now, what is your center? But you can imagine a tree. Close your eyes, imagine a tree. Through which eyes are you looking at it? Through which body are you looking at that tree? You say my entirety of my experience is through that. It's not true. You must look at these things more closely. You see, most of the time we live in the head. No? So through which eyes are we looking at the thoughts? Through which ear are we hearing our thoughts? Then some memory will come from the past. It will bother us, like that. So through which eyes are we looking at that? You see? But the mind will come and propose to you the body-centric version that it proposes. And we are quick to buy into that. You see? It's subtle, but actually it just takes a moment of looking and you so cracked it, no? You see, so it's not that complicated also. So investigate the nature of these things before you set the context. Because the minute you set the context that, hey, this I experience the world through this. You see? Now continue to keep your eyes closed. You see? Now see that even in that, consciousness has the full ability to project a world, that which we may call a dream or a daydream or whatever projection. You see? Now, on what space is that happening?
Same space.
The same space. Now, how do you know that when these eyes are open, it doesn't continue to happen in the same space?
I contemplated on this.
Exactly. So then you cannot buy the construct that my experience of the world is through these bodily senses. No? Is it?
But being continuous washing.
Whenever we buy a notion, you see, we're like, this is true only. This is the true only. I must be experiencing the world through the body. You see? Then investigate, then contemplate, then look. And contemplate doesn't mean think about it. See? Contemplate means rest with that intuition and let it reveal itself to you.
So living your will anywhere than by living. You are doing this.
You see?
This is not true.
Yes, good. Good you came to it fast. Don't buy into, because what does that make you? You see? So don't be in a rush to buy into what the mind is proposing. I understood now. Okay, that. You see? No.
So there's so much power.
Huh?
Such
Again, you're doing it. Don't come up with an evaluation of what anything is. You see? Just don't. It is just an antidote to our fear. These evaluations, we just feel like we need them to like, because to be not intellectually settled with all the answers in the head can feel too wobbly. You see? Don't settle it. In fact, kick it all. Does a 1-year-old need to know that God is taking care of everything or the Guru is taking care of everything? No. Is it living in fear all the time? See? So it is not about replacing worldly constructs with now spiritual constructs. It is not about that. Place it with emptiness. Don't judge, don't conclude, don't evaluate. And forget about what happens then. Because that gravitates you back to your head. If I remain open and empty, what will happen? You're back in time. Happen means what? So don't try to walk the balancing act. Just stay out of your head. That which is higher than you can imagine is already you. And if you want to be poetic, you can say already yours. But the minute you put on the lens of personhood, the lens of limitation, then it can seem like you have to search for it. So this is the gift of the no mind or open and empty. Yes? So how do I live? I promised to answer that question earlier. So how do I live? I live open and empty. This is answering the question. If you have the question, how do I live? I'm not saying Ananta live like this or something.
Who lives?
Huh?
Who lives?
Huh?
Who lives?
See, this is the. You had the question. I'm answering. Now, is it? Is it?
No, I was just reporting that.
Yeah.
Now this is.
Yes.
I was just reporting.
So you don't care about it. You don't care about it.
Yeah, I first time heard it. So
Now you care about how to live or no?
no, you told me so. I will try to do what you. It takes time.
Ah? Is it?
I don't believe that right now we can.
Don't have to believe. You're not here. If I was giving you a set of beliefs, then I would give you a book. I don't, another way, maybe harsher sounding, but I don't care whether you believe or not. And neither should you.
So actually what is it is I'm believing that it takes some time.
This is the head. Leave it. Evaluation. First day also I told you, leave it. Don't go back. Let's go to Georgie and Shivoham in Sahaja.
Father.
They,
Can you hear me?
yes.
Okay. Just related to this. Just after that. I don't know how to begin, but maybe like I guess that that play of change of state, I'm talking about change of state, and it seems to become more evident here in Sahaja somehow. And there's just so much grace and openness and clarity, followed by not so much clarity. And
Okay, so that's a great opportunity.
yeah.
That's a great opportunity. Now, that which can become clear and unclear, leave it. If it can become unclear, it is not an instrument you need to bother about. What is the instrument that does not have these states of change?
It's just there seems to be something here, Father, because it's biting somehow, because even when it goes from some darkness to clarity, it feels like you say, it's not. I'm none of those things. I'm none of anything that changes. And I don't know.
Not just that
Sorry?
just that you are not changeful,
Yeah.
I'm also saying that which is changeful and determines the nature of something happening, you see, is completely fraudulent.
Yeah, and that's the thing, because you just said don't evaluate, and this pointer comes to just not. We don't need to know anything. What's happening? What happened yesterday? What happened today? I don't need to know that. And somehow it feels like there is a preference. There is a preference for the state of grace, and there is a preference for clarity, and there is something wanting to go back there.
What? Give me an example of a state which is not grace.
You got me.
Once I had I'll share a story while you take a few breaths. So, a friend came and stayed in this house, no? And the friend is from the Sangha itself. So, this is probably before I started sharing Satsang. So, he was visiting maybe on the way to Thiru or something. So, he came and stayed. So, he was sharing about his life and things. So, he said, Ananta, when this relationship started, he was talking about his ex-partner, ex-girlfriend, whatever. So he said, when this relationship started, it was just pure grace. You see? The instant I heard that, I don't know if it sounded too hard. The instant I heard that, and I wasn't even sharing satsang those days. So I said, so then what happened? Grace switched off, or God just turned off grace, is it? And then it just became a relationship between two people and not grace.
You're right. I don't know I don't know what it is. It just seems to be sometimes, very often here, it happens that there's just so much magic or power in the land and being here. And it's just so, it kind of takes something away. But I don't know what it is.
Yes, but where you're going for the answer is not the right instrument.
Yeah.
Stay with me.
Yeah.
Stay like that.
Yeah. This one is fighting for some reason. I don't know what's happening.
No, this is how the mind translates this into fear. You see, because some wobbliness can come and it can feel like the constructs that we build are being disintegrated, and for a moment it feels like I don't have an evaluation about myself now. So that can be translated as fear by the mind. It's okay, go through that. Don't worry. Who is sitting in your heart right now? Right now, no matter anything else, no other circumstance matters.
Yes, you are.
So that divinity that we call the Guru, of which Ananta is just an expression, an instrument.
Yeah.
Now, what higher gift could you be receiving in this moment?
Can I ask you something?
Yeah.
So is it true, or is it okay if I say it, just to stop caring about all these oscillations, all of these seeming
Definitely.
Just forget about that, and just to remember that that's all your problem.
And if you need to remember that, if you don't even need to remember that, forget it. Let your heart be the judge of that, whether you need to remember that or not. See, because I also don't want to give you, like, at a preliminary stage, I may say, okay, leave everything else and hold on to this branch. You see? Then there comes a point where I say, leave every branch. leave every branch. But let your heart be the judge of that, whether you still need one stick at least to hold on to, or
Which one is it now?
what is your heart saying?
Just to stay with you.
That's it. That's it. Don't put anything, especially yourself, in any construct. Don't put anything in any construct. Is it? If you cannot say that everything is grace, then forget about the construct of grace also.
Yeah. And it's not true. It's not. I can see that it's not true that one thing is grace and the other one is not. Let's see.
Actually, I say like this in the broadcast, grace, the notion of grace is also a construct to be an antidote to the buttons that the mind is pushing.
Yeah.
Just because every other form of conceptual understanding is so limiting that we say everything is grace, so that then we don't bother ourselves with the limit to the super limited notion. But that is also provisional.
Can you repeat the last thing?
But that is also provisional. It's like the branch we have to hold on to because we let go all the other branches.
Something's really quick to say, I don't know what's happening, but it doesn't. I don't need to know what's happening.
Yes. And where you don't know, you will never know.
Yeah.
You do know, you always know. It's the important tip for everyone.
Yeah.
Where you don't know, you will never know. Give up on that. And where you do know, you will always know. It is not possible to have these states of clarity and lack of clarity.
What is that clarity and lack of clarity? Is that all?
That's what I'm saying. So it's just like leave that instrument. If the glasses can become clear or blurry, those are not the right glasses for you. I remember one day Georgie was here, and all of you may remember also, but I was wearing my old glasses, and actually the glasses themselves had got the film had come off and things had happened. And I was trying to look at everybody on the screen. I couldn't see. So I just kept giving my glasses to her. Can you clean them? And she would clean them. I'll wear them back. No, I still can't see. Can you clean them? So the mind is an instrument like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Instrument like that.
Yeah.
Try to use it to see some reality. Don't try to use it to understand some reality or interpret some truth.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems that we bind ourselves like this, just these spiritual identities.
Don't even understand. What will we do with that evaluation? Except if it's deconstructive in the sense that you notice it and drop. Notice. Is it? So it's dissolutive in that way, then it's good. But if it becomes like, oh, this is what we do, and so we are doing that, is it? Then it becomes more of a prescriptive method, a constructive method. which is not what this kind of satsang is. What is happening right now? Reject all constructs of time and space, especially being located in time and space. And then the rest of the building blocks cannot be built on top of that. It's like when we were kids, some of us played with these Lego bricks. But in the Lego bricks, you have the base Lego thing on top of which you can build. So for this Maya, for this Leela, time and space is that. If you give it validity, then you have the opportunity to build like Leela blocks, Maya blocks on top of that. If you see that you are not subject to any time or space, like I was asking Edward earlier. Just 1 second. I was asking Edward earlier, where are you? Seems like a very simple question we should be able to answer, and most of us will say here. But when most of us say here, they are implying a spatial location as here. But that which is aware of all perceptions, can you find a location to that? Sorry. Not able to unmute? Shivoham silence, is it?
What do you say, Father?
Shivoham is in silence, is it? He is not. No, he's actually in silence. Okay, sorry if I'm making jokes. No.
He actually said, I'm sorry, I'm going to be a bad sister now, but he actually said that he wanted to talk to you. No?
Yeah.
He said yesterday.
You're talking, yeah. After I have a lot of things, very, very juicy things to talk about, Father.
Hey, juicy stuff. I'm also happy to hear.
Exactly.
I was saying that I have very juicy things to say. So I'll come and talk to you in Bangalore. Is that what you're saying?
I would love, Father, but I don't think it would be possible until I don't know when. I have no. Let's see how it goes. I really would love to come in, Father. Let's yeah, let's see. Yeah. You want to ask us something more?
No, I'm happy.
Yeah. So I just wanted to yeah, to say that since I came here, somehow the space of clarity, let's say, of is becoming more evident, let's say, and the tricks of mind are more seeable, let's say, even though there is some catchy thoughts that comes, but and yeah, I just want to to ask for, I don't know how. To not to identify anymore. I don't know how to say it. It is, and and to fully recognize that what I am is what I am. I don't know.
Okay, just halfly do it. Halfly do it. I'll do the other half.
Yes.
You see,
Yes.
I'm joking actually, but it's important to point out
Yes.
that fully can become a very painful notion.
Oh yeah.
Like, how will you know you've done it fully?
Wow, thank you.
Can you do it half? Like, are you aware now, but half?
Yes.
Can you stop being like, but be half? No? So, because what we are pointing to is not in the construct of time and space. Sometimes when we take on these, which are spoken, which are said in Satsang, you see, but we take them to heart and too seriously. So we just feel like, yes, we have the ability to measure my depth or something like this. So I'm not fully in it. Now, what will we use to measure that? You see, we will use states that show up. We will use phenomena.
It's only the mind. Yeah, you use. Yeah.
Easy.
And this is something that it came also these days. The mind is saying, I was, you're not one, no? And I was asking to the mind, and so okay, so you know what once is, no? So
Yeah.
tell me.
Yeah.
Yeah, please tell me what
Yeah.
oneness is, so I can. So yeah, I was catching this.
That's good. That's very good. That's good. That's very good. I like that because then we are not just like, oh, the mind is saying you are a cow, you're this thing, and we are just like, yeah. So there is some. Do you really know? Tell me more.
Yeah. Yeah. So nice to see you.
It's very good. All my love, all my blessings.
I hope to be able to come soon to
Yeah.
see you.
Always welcome. Always welcome.
Yeah.
Just relax. Both of you, just relax. Nothing to worry yourself about. Nothing. Just relax.
Thank you, Father.
Thank you, my loves. Thank you. Okay, let's go to the next one. Satyam.
Hello, Ananta-ji.
Hello.
Since we last spoke, I was hearing that there were no branches to hold.
Now say again, please, the last part I was hearing.
You were talking to someone and you were saying, I give you this branch or this branch, and then suddenly no branches to hold.
Yes.
There is just one last branch which somehow I keep holding again and again, and I want to expose it right here before you.
Yes.
And it's a very, very it's very dear to my heart, that branch. And I can't let that go.
The branch is not dear to your heart. You see? The branch is not dear to your heart. The branches are only dear to the mind, which is when they are called attachment.
Yeah,
The heart is dear to the heart. It doesn't need branches.
yeah, you're right. But that branch leads to what is deeply yearned, and these are just the branches in the form of few words uttered by Muji Baba to me. And then what happened after that? What was the open sky and the branches? There's no past here. There's no future here, and even present is just a concept to this.
Yes. So if the branch helps you burn all the other branches, then keep that branch till the master tells you to leave it. You see? So, like Bhagwan metaphor of the thorn being used to remove other thorns, and then you throw the last thorn also away. So wait for the master's guidance, the heart guidance on that. So you don't have to rush.
And it is, yes, I hear that. It is sensed very clearly that every word, every explanation, the mind cannot explain this, because every explaining is within time and space.
Yeah.
And to explain something which is not on the geography, not in time, and somewhere right now, what I'm going to say now is there's a mind is screaming, oh, you can't, knowing that we are that itself.
Yes.
Which is beyond time and space. Because I have somewhere there's a hesitation in saying that, but now I'm saying for everyone or whatever.
Don't worry, own it, don't worry. Sometimes it can become like that, where, oh, but I have still so much anger, I have still so much this thing, nobody.
Yeah,
this kind of thing.
Because I have
But
this body.
From your highest insight, you see, to allow your heart to use the mouth speaking in that way from your highest insight is my biggest blessing to you. Is my biggest, maybe not biggest, but it's a big blessing to you. So don't feel sheepish about that, because this will constrict you. This will make you only a communicating vessel for when you're communicating a limited construct. Why should it be that when you're communicating about a higher insight from your heart, then the mind gets in the way and says, oh, but then you're sounding so arrogant. See, you're not free. Who are you to say? You see, but even if the most deluded one can have a moment of pure insight and be allowed to share it, no? Not you are the most deluded, not any of us are. But I'm saying that we must not become sheepish like this. This is how the mind controls us. The insight you cannot share. But so troubled by this, I'm so upset. Yeah, this you can share, because this you're just exposing, and you're being real about it. Actually, it's not like that.
Yeah. No, really, I feel like, and Mujiba pointed that, because there's somewhere of this thing of being what's the word? Blasphemy?
Blasphemous, yes.
Yeah, blasphemous. But deep in my heart, there's a knowing that what I am is ungraspable, and it can't be really. It's not a thing. It's very much known in my heart.
Yes.
And I feel you in my heart that it's the same what you are and what everyone is. Actually, you are what we see as Anantaji, the form, but what you are is everyone.
Yes.
Essentially. So I don't know, and there's lots of tears because this fire is like it's unstoppable.
Yes.
So I just want to thank you all the time that your presence is a reminder every time, and all the stages, and last time I was talking about the money and source, and you said since last 10 years I might that everything gets sorted out, and it's true. So it got sorted out. So
Look at that.
so but I'm happy that when it was not sorted out, I just want to say I'm proud that there's no one to, but there's a joy that when there was insecurity of this money, still my heart was for this.
Very, very.
And I took it like this is also it pushes me to more to this, because when things are very nice we forget, so thank you, Taji, Father.
All my love. All my love. Okay, let's go to Mukti.
Hi, Father. I'm always at your feet. You know that, right?
Yes, yes.
Always. My head is planted there. Like I don't want to get up from there. My question was, Father, are we becoming mini sages as each satsang progresses and we get rooted in the heart? Are we becoming like mini sages as well?
The instant you are open and empty, you are the higher sage.
Okay. Yeah.
The instant you take yourself to be something, even a sage, then you're no longer a sage.
Okay.
That's it. So if as you open and empty this moment, you see, the minute you say, I am a sage, you see, then shh.
Yeah.
You see, so the sage doesn't call itself, I mean, in words, maybe words may come out like that, but the sage is not referring to the being, to the awareness as if it has some sage-like quality. It is the world which uses those terms. Is it?
Okay. We choose the terms, right?
Huh?
We choose the terms?
Yes, it is the world which says, oh, that one's a sage, because they're so in touch with God, or they've discovered their truth in their heart. So
yeah.
The sage is just saying we are all one, we are all the same.
Rather one consciousness.
One consciousness, one reality.
One being.
Yes.
Okay. Father, I want to go to Bangalore one day. I really want to meet you in person. I just got to save up my money and I'll be able to. Oh, I'm seeing your aura again. I'll be able.
It's all for you. It's all for you. It's all light.
Be able to go see you. So I'm looking forward to that, because I want my career to be focused on nurse career, like a nursing practitioner or a nursing assistant. So when I start working and I can save up my money, I could go meet you for the first time. So I'm really excited for that.
So happy to hear this. Very good.
Yeah.
Very good. Always welcome. Always.
Thank you. I love you in my heart. You're always there in my heart, and my head is forever at your feet. I love you.
Love you. Love you. Very good. Very good. Good. Let's go to Madalena and Kalin.
Hello, Father.
Looks like it's super hot there, huh?
It is very hot.
That of Kalin is emulating Bhagwan.
Always. At least one family member emulate something. Father, remember how you allowed me to keep the mother identity?
Yes.
It doesn't help me. It's very strong.
Which is the identity that it doesn't help?
The mother.
No. So there, I said, okay, now the mother identity is rampant, in this world. Like even a lamb will fight with an elephant for if their child is in danger, all those kind of things. But I never get in the way of one identity, which is the mother identity. So you're allowed to keep that. Now you say that identity is causing me a lot of trouble. So that the other me identity is which one?
I don't have any other left. My mind can't think of any other. It's just this one is so strong.
Then who is having pure consciousness is having trouble with the mother identity? Who's having?
Pure consciousness can't.
Exactly.
I heard it can't have any troubles.
Cannot have any trouble. So there must be either a spiritual identity or a progressive identity or some like identity with some states as being better states identity, which is saying, no, this mother identity is getting in your way.
Father, it's 40 degrees here and we are
Right.
on this uphill training every day. Anna is unsettled and she has this crazy look on her face. And I'm trying with my mind very hard to find a solution for her. And Sahaja is a big land. So for this uphill training,
You have to walk up every day.
not to walk up, we don't have, Colleen is tired, I am tired. We don't have a moment to sit because she's just running around. She's very resistant to satsang.
Yes.
And I think she loves her little cute bum out very hard because
I won't say she's
she
resistant.
gives us work.
Like we can't say that a child is resistant to satsang.
Yes.
Satsang is for the grown-ups to come back to their innocence. If one is already in their innocence, then how can they be resistant?
But this one doesn't want to sit in satsang anymore, and she doesn't even bhajans and chant sahaja. She just runs away.
That's okay, because she's already innocent. That's what children do.
She's not that innocent, Father. Colleen can tell you that.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
What's on my strong story?
If you don't listen to me, listen to him. Look, I understand I'm too old and I'm too attached and I don't have credibility. But this one, he's innocent.
Close to a particular situation, you see, it can seem very oppressive, and it's not easy, of course. I understand your situation very well, you see. But I'm not buying that construct of being resistive to satsang. That's all. I know it's very difficult otherwise, yes.
I'm not sure what to do with her. Like, she just wants to walk around Sahaja, which is not allowed, and
She can't walk alone.
she can't walk alone because it's a bit dangerous, and I have to walk after her, and it's really tiring.
Anna, do you
And I
have
can't stay at satsang or anything because she'll try to walk away, and
it's a lot of fight here. We are like in a battlefield. I feel like I'm exercising Anna.
You're exercising.
Not Anna, or I don't know, something. And she really, look, it's my mind interpretation of things, and it's things that I also learned from some other wise people. If you have to undo my learning, please do it. I threatened her if she doesn't stop, I'm going to go to Australia and put her into a daycare center and I'll come back. Which is a very nice, not very nice. It's a nice idea. Was the best strategy because that really pissed her off. And she's giving me, she's showing me the finger, full power.
That's all. That's all. But don't feel that I'm not understanding the difficulty of your predicament. But just here, I see that these predicaments come in the Sangha and many things happen like that. But grace somehow always takes care of it. Maybe it doesn't operate on double quick time or doesn't operate according to our timeline, but it does always come through. So big blessing, big prayer for all of you, and may Guruji's grace guide this situation in the best possible way. And don't trouble yourself to find like a conceptual answer too fast or very fast or something like this. Life will show us the path.
At the beginning of the satsang, when you joined, I had to go and pick up some food for the kids, but I really felt like I wanted so much to cry with you for a while. Now I put the story into a funny presentation, but yeah, our hearts are a bit burdened here.
It became because of the Kalin and Bhagwan emulating Bhagwan joke.
He does have some pictures at Arunachala, actually. I'll send them to you.
He have a stick in his hand and is like,
It's, yeah, it's very much, yeah. A little Rishi. And the naughty Risha.
I'm glad you still carry that humor through all of this and full love, full blessing.
Kisha actually sent me a transcript of a satsang from the beginning of our time together when Anna was in a similar situation. And he was saying to me, do you think God needs some assistance from you to raise your children? And you said to me, look, if you pick any of these gods on the wall and just trust one. And now it feels like I need all of you, even if they are one. Thank you.
How far do you stay from where do you have to go every day to the satsang hall, the Big hall?
It's not that far. We stay in Kathmandu, which is just opposite, just downhill Shiva temple. So we don't have to walk or anything, and we can take the little back way to go there. It's not, I think it's Anna's condition at the moment, which is extrapolated, and yeah, otherwise I think, because and it's also like everything I learned to apply with her, it's one day may work and the other day is not going to work and everything is upside down. And then I think she takes some pleasure into, I have to respond to this one. But yeah, I think she takes some pleasure in us having a go at her and being abrupt with her.
Yes.
Thank you, Father. I have to.
Yes,
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, Sangha.
Hola.
Thank you.
Okay, let's go to Clarissa.
Father, is your Bodhiman journey the best one chosen? According to our condition.
Why did you feel like the pause will help that?
What is your question?
Point. We're back to point. We started satsang saying all point is pointless. Listen, everyone. Don't look for a point behind anything. Life is too broad for you to discover the point of it in your head. And in your heart, you already know the point. So don't go on this, that many people have written the meaning of human existence is this, and it is that, and it is this, and it is that. You see? Either you accept one of those or throw everything away. Don't start a new journey. The world doesn't need it, you don't need it. Which is going to say, okay, this is the ultimate meaning of life.
You will never get it.
Here, but there's more to you than that. You know it here. See? Like the buffet table is laid out for you. You see? And they say, where is Akshay? Oh, he's out looking for some food to eat. No? So they say, okay, should I stop looking for food? Yes, because buffet is there. So the only thing is that when you are in the quest for the search for food, then the buffet seems to be difficult to find. But the minute you drop it, it's a problem.
You don't need answers to your questions.
Yes. You don't need answers. Okay, let's go to Clarissa. Let me answer some questions.
Hello, Ananta. Thank you that I can come to Satsang, and thank you for.
Can't hear you so well, Nancy.
Thank you. Can you hear me now?
Well, we can manage with this. I feel we can.
Yeah. Thank you that I can come to Satsang, and thank you for the sun and thank you to the Sangha. I just wanted to come up because there was so much rage and anger there and hate, and so during the day and during my work, and there it's not so easy to stay to be in satsang. That's during my daily life. It's always kept the ego is strong.
The instant you make a category, you see, so when you separate between daily life and satsang life, go on, trouble. It's just asking for trouble. The instant you make a category among your feelings and say, this is anger, I should not be feeling this. You see, what do you feel the mind is going to do? So you're getting angry. You're getting too angry. You're getting angry. You see, anything that pushes your button is going to push. Do you have to put your life in a context, in a conceptual context? Do you have to put your life, okay, let me say it less academically, do you have to put your life in a narrative, in a story? Like, does your narrative have to have satsang life and daily life?
Mm-hmm.
Right now, who's in your heart? Who's sitting in your heart as your presence? Whose presence is that?
God.
God, you see? You see? Then, what else can we say after that? Like, why is it that the first thing that you report is not, Ananta, God is sitting in my heart? How come anger gets more importance than God? You see, is God like taken for granted? Oh, God is there, yeah, but what about the anger thing? Are you getting this? Are you getting the dichotomy here? You see, of how the value judgments and evaluative tendencies that we have are just upside down. Imagine if you had a true evaluator in your head. What would it be saying? If you had a true evaluator in your head, what it would be saying? Wow, God is here. Wow, God is here. Wow, God is here. Does anything else stand up to that? Or is worth exchanging for that? Any but, yeah, God is there. But is it possible? God is here. And whatever name you may use, some may not like the term God, you can say being, consciousness, presence, consciousness, whatever word you want to use. Is there a higher force? Is there a higher existence? Is there a higher entity than your very being? So how come we are not celebrating the presence of God but lamenting the state of the rest of what everything is there? Is it a notion of perfection that in the perfect state which I had 3 weeks ago, there was only the presence of God and there was no like anger and there was no other constriction in the heart and things like this? Is it? Drop all those ideas and categories. Don't try to determine the state of your being, the state of your existence in any way. The capacity to determine the goodness or badness of things, the betterness or worseness of things, is not possible in your head.
Mhm.
That which is aware of the perception of whatever you are perceiving, is that not your reality? That which is even before I am? And if that is not your reality, who is that one? Better find out. If you are the me operating here as a me, poor little body mind, then who is looking at all of this? It's better to investigate this. Is it like a big brother type scenario? In India, it's called Big Boss. Is it a Big Boss type scenario? So you're just the little old me character living in the house, but then there's a big guy, sitting and watching all of this, just watching and enjoying your lamentations and your suffering in life. You better find out who that is. You see? So maybe we can break out of this house. Either way, it's worth investigating. What are the two options? That it is you itself. You see, that is the first option, that it is you. What is the second option? It's not you, it's somebody like really has so much power. Either way, it is worth investigating who that is. If there is a pure witnessing, if there's a pure awareness, and pure only in the sense of being untouched by whatever shows up, then it's worth investigating who that is. The instant you put yourself in a limited construct of me, then everything has the potential to push your button. The instant you create a belief, the opposite belief can be poked. The instant suppose you did years of investigation and you concluded that life is fair, the next day something will happen which you cannot fathom how that is fair, and you will say, oh, this is so unfair. The minute you put any shape to anything, conceptually, it is an invitation to trouble. And it's not as if you need that intelligence of that ephemeral shape. You don't need that intelligence. The higher intelligence is already operating and available. So now tell me what your heart is saying.
The heart is opening up.
Okay, so I'll give you a tip, okay? And let's watch together. Can the heart be closed or open? The heart that I'm speaking of? Okay, and to confirm that we are looking at the same thing, I ask you, are you aware now?
Yes.
Yes. That recognition, that looking, can that instrument of this insight be closed or open?
No.
No. You see? So anything else you refer to as the heart, maybe like an emotional center, maybe some energetic feeling, maybe all of that, that is not the heart. Just forget about it. If it can open and close, it's not the heart. That which is always open. What is that chain? What is that? 7-Eleven. The heart is like 7-Eleven. Now, what is that heart saying?
Nothing.
So that nothing, is it troublesome?
No.
So accept that nothing as the truest guidance which is available to you at the moment, and trust that the heart will guide you in so many different ways. Then in whenever it is required to trust the intelligence of it to move in the most natural way. So the way to confirm that you're being intuitive is to check whether your true reality is apparent to you in this moment. And the way to check that you're being conceptual mental is to see whether what you're saying is very suitable to be included in your story. Or what you're believing is very suitable to be included in some narrative of me. Very good. Thank you. Very good. Very good. Okay, let's go to Marisa. Yes.
Namaste, Father.
Namaste, namaste, my dear.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you well. Yes.
Is that when you were talking with Clarissa, I was in like this open state, and now like it looks like I'm taking a position when talking to you.
Okay, stop it.
It's very subtle. It's not like a big position, but it's like the student that is talking to the father, you know.
Yeah. How do you know you're taking this position?
Because something took a little shape inside of me, like it's very tiny. You know, it's not even like conceptual. I don't feel like a big concept.
Yeah.
It just like I was like sitting like differently, and I even changed my position, like sit straight. You know?
Yes. That's okay. Externally, it's fine because have you seen my photos with Guruji? I'm just Externally is fine. That's what I'm saying. Whether it's like an inward, like, oh, now I better say something useful. I better get father's approval. I better, is it like that which you're believing, or it's just this sort of outward this thing?
I don't know, like I cannot say it. There is a part that it's like kind of blurry, but there maybe like an old position of like, am I gonna be doing it right? Am I gonna be, saying
Okay,
it?
now let's do an experiment. Say everything wrong. Don't make any sense of anything that you say. And you can do it because now you have license from me to do it. So just purposely just say some complete wrong stuff.
I love you.
That's all wrong. Oh, what are you doing?
I went to sleep yesterday saying your name all the time. I couldn't stop saying it. And I felt you in my heart very much, And I had this dream that I woke up feeling like I was touching a man, like poking.
Yeah.
And it was the devil, It looked like Jesus, but it looked, and when I realized that it was the devil, I just woke up. But something inside of me felt like really right, like saying, it's okay, nothing happened, And I thought about you when you said, and I would really like to look with you, I have this fear that I'm not able to, that I'm not looking.
Yeah. But the good news is that what I'm pointing to, you can't look at it wrong. It is impossible for you to do it wrong. And even now, when you just became open about it, I said, okay, say some wrong things. So beautiful, no, nothing, no problem. So, are you aware now?
Yes.
But
Well,
you're
no,
the yes, but
actually, like like there was a position started to come, and when I look at that
it
position,
doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Whatever is forming in phenomena, whatever is coming, you see over there, you are aware of the perception, isn't it?
yeah,
So, and when you say position, you're talking about some maybe energetic contraction
yes,
or something like this. It doesn't matter. You see, that's also perceived. You are aware of that perception, isn't it?
yeah.
Change that, you make it somebody else. Can you do it?
No.
Can't explain that self. So this one, do you see it? Do you perceive it?
No.
Don't perceive it. And do you have to think about it to confirm that, yes, I am aware of the perception. You have to think about it like that. Is it a conceptual conclusion?
No.
So that is intuitive insight. Try to do this wrong. You cannot go wrong. You can if you try really hard. And I'm saying, are you aware now? If you instantly say, well, yes, in this Katha Upanishad that is said in verse number 23. So that is the way to do it wrong. But it's very difficult to do that. Especially if I keep saying now. Not you can't fail at this. It's what you want out of this which you may fail at. But the recognition itself you cannot fail at.
It's always like just recognize it all the time, and that's it. Like I don't have to do anything else.
For what? For what? And for what is the outcome, end result? What is the point as we started satsang with?
What's the point of what?
Of this recognition. So, okay, let me frame it properly so it's clearer. You say that, should I always just remind myself of this or be in this recognition? No? But should I always, for what? What is the end result you want?
Well, just not to go to the head. That's all I want, not to go to.
Yes, yes.
Like it.
What is the way to not go to the head and for this recognition to be apparent all of the time? It is to just be open and empty. Now, the same recognition which is available to you when I give you the pointer, are you aware now, is also apparent to you when you're just open and empty, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is it?
It is the same.
And then earlier in Satsang, we said, okay, there will be moments where you won't be open and empty, where something will seem real, where the mind will be able to sell you some story. And in those moments, what to do? You see, when there is too much need to be right and to know, then you have to go through those moments. Those moments will happen. But there are also moments where it can feel like it's half and half. You recognize, this is the mind, it's not me. But you're still buying something from the mind which is saying, but you need to know what to do. Should I book my tickets or not? Should I go to that shop or not? Should I go into this situation or not? You see? So the mind will create these projects where it will tell you, but you have to have the answer. And if you believe that, you see, then you can still go to the heart and say, okay, what do I do? Should I book these tickets? And that intuitive insight, which can point you to your own source, can also guide you about these things in life. You don't constantly need that guidance, but it's only for those moments where you feel like I can't be open and empty because I have to decide.
Yeah. But it's leaving me a lot like in doing nothing.
Yeah.
Usually. Like
doing nothing.
Very like a very simple, things. Because if I do something, it's like I go a lot to my head. So it's like.
Yes. Allow most things to be done just as you're open and empty. You see, if this man can come and share 3 hours of satsang like this, just from that open and empty, I'm sure you can do your daily activities from this open and empty. Just observe this, because we don't look at it like that. The minute we say, I have to do something, then we are already implying that I have to go to the mind to do something.
Yeah.
It's not true. The same intelligence that is beating your heart can run your life.
And it's true. I have experienced
Yes.
hard things.
All of us have. All of us have. Many of us have reported that, I was just in the no mind and life was just moving so beautifully. So that movement was happening, but we call it a movement which is happening. And then when we go to the mind, then we call that a doing.
Yeah.
What is this? Is this a doing or a happening?
Happening.
Happening. So that hand moving there is also happening.
It's always a happening.
The same power that is doing this is moving the sun and the planets. There is only one consciousness.
It's only the judgment, right? That takes it.
Exactly. That makes it me and mine and you and yours.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Father.
So well.
I would like to ask for a blessing to sometime to come to Bangalore, or I want both. I want the Sahaja and then after you.
Yeah.
I just want to be with God fully, and I know that being with you and with Muji, I'll be like fully blessed. Thank you. Thank you, Father. I love you. Thank you. God bless you. Thank you.
Let's go to Jada. Jada and friend.
Hello,
So,
Father. Can you hear
yeah,
me now? Yeah. Sorry, I feel a little excited.
it's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, I came here for this friend today. We just met actually, a little bit strangely, and as I heard, she's kind of in depression, and she's always lying down and this kind of thing. So while I was watching Satsang, I asked her, like, if you like to have a prayer from my father, and her eyes shine, and she said yes, and here we are. And yeah, she wants to ask your blessings and prayers, and if you want to talk with her, of course. Yeah.
Thank you, my child. So let me hear from her a little bit.
Hello, it's difficult for me talking, but I just feel some kind of vulnerability, and yes, I need prayers.
Yes. Always, my full blessings are with you, and may divinity, in whichever form you relate to that divinity, may you recognize that it is always here as your very presence. May you recognize your true nature being one with that divinity. And everything in your human condition, may you be able to surrender to that power and live a life which is empty of burden. So my full blessing to you, my child. So yeah, tell me a little bit, what burdens you?
What burdens you?
What do you find oppressive, so depressive in this life?
Actually, it's hard for me to speak publicly.
Yeah.
It's able for have a private chat. I prefer that.
But you don't know any of them, so it's okay. We can have another conversation. I understand. It's good. In the meanwhile, full blessings from my heart, and may what we call the Sadguru's grace bless you fully. All my love, all my blessings.
Thank you.
So.
Thank you so much, Father.
Thank you, my love. Take care. Okay, let's go to Adrian.
Namaste, Father.
Namaste, my dear.
I wanted to share something. May seem somewhat naive, but it's really, I feel it's important for me. I wanted to share that I really care about these little friends that we have, like animals. And I really love, for example, cats. And I see, for example, in my neighborhood, there are a lot of cats, and there have been in the past, who live on the street, and they don't seem to have food and water and proper care. And I try to help, but I cannot do everything. And just I don't know. Many times I worry about this, about them and how they. But somehow I feel that I worry too much. I don't know. I don't know if I should worry so much.
Do the cats seem like they are in some distress to you?
Well, they always seem hungry, and and sometimes they are sick, and sometimes they disappear. And I don't know what happened to them.
Yeah. We have a few cat lovers in the Sangha as well in Bangalore. And we have one here, Arvind, who's sitting at the back of the room. But also we had, Soumya's daughter, her name escapes me at the moment, but she used to adopt every cat she would see. Adopt, you mean take care of them. She would just bring them home and feed them. So Soumya said at one time that there were many cats living in their house. So yes, it's fine. You can take care of them to the best of the ability that consciousness has given to you. Feel free to feed them or take care of them. But when you don't have the capacity, where consciousness has not made the means available and apparent to you, then don't trouble yourself.
Yeah.
Just taking care.
Because that's what happens when I don't go and feed them. I get a lot of guilt, and I think that I should do more. I should.
No, don't worry about more. Whatever capacity Grace has given that instrument at the moment, just use that capacity. It's fine. And if you feel like the Sangha can help in any way, just let us know, and we see how we can.
If someone can help, or what
if the Sangha in any way can help in this project, feel free to ask. But no, we don't know how that will go, but happy to support any of these things which appeal to your heart.
Yeah, well, I wish I could take them home, but it's not possible, and they live on the street, so I go there and put some food, put some water, and yeah, I feel somehow that God, your grace and God's grace is everywhere, and it's also taking care of whatever they need somehow.
Yes. Very good. Bless you, my child. Yes.
Thank you. Just wanted to share this.
Yes. I'm very happy.
I'm burdening a bit.
Very good.
Thank you.
Good. Let's play some bhajan. Radha Ma wants to sing.
Saguna bhano ki nirgunare tuja. Saguna bhano ki nirgunare. Saguna nirguna eko govindure, eko govindure. Saguna nirguna eko govindure, eko govindure tuja. Saguna bhano ki nirgunare tuja. Saguna bhano ki nirgunare. Anumanena, anumanena. Anumanena, anumanena. Shruti niti bhanati govindore. Shruti niti bhanati govindore tuja. Saguna bhano ki nirgunare tuja. Saguna bhano ki nirgunare. Tuja drishya bhano ki adrishya re tuja. Drishya bhano ki अदृश्य रे दृश्य दृश्य एको गोविंद रे दृश्य दृश्य एको गोविंद रे तुझा सगुणा म्हणो की निर्गुण रे तुझा सगुणा म्हणो की निर्गुण रे तुझा करू म्हणो की निराकारू रे तुझा आकारू म्हणो की निराकारू रे आकारो निराकारू एको गोविंद रे आकारो निराकारू एको गोविंद रे तुझा सगुणा म्हणो की निर्गुण रे तुझा सगुणा म्हणो की निर्गुण रे निवृत्ती प्रसादे ज्ञानदेव बोले निवृत्ती प्रसादे ज्ञानदेव बोले बाप रखुमदेवी वारू विठ्ठल रे निवृत्ती प्रसादे ज्ञानदेव बोले बाप रखुमदेवी वारू विठ्ठल रे तुझा सगुणा म्हणो की निर्गुण रे तुझा सगुणा म्हणो की निर्गुण रे सगुण निर्गुण एक गोविंद रे एक गोविंद रे सगुण निर्गुण एक गोविंद रे एक गोविंद रे तुझा सगुण म्हणो की निर्गुण रे तुझा सगुणा म्हणो की निर्गुण रे
Thank you all so much for being in Satsang today. Sadhguru Shri Muji Baba ki jai. Guru Kripa ki jai.